make that decision.
So pretty much, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't done it in 6 years, so now they're trying to cap it all at one time.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you owe me $100 a week, and I didn't get none of that money, and then now I know you got some money, I try to cap all that what you owe me, and then tell you my new rate of what you owe me.
In a sense. And they got fined for some things, so they're trying to basically trickle that cost down to us as well. There's some other things in it. And
now, who would you say who's the majority as to who's affected by this? If it does go up, who's affected? What's the majority?
Anybody that's under the entire Georgia Power, anybody that gets their service, gets the Georgia Power bill is going to be affected by it. But actually, all of the other subsidiaries are going to be affected by it too, because it's a scenario where somebody pay more for something and then they pass that cost on to you. Like, boy, they charge me XYZ for this, I got to hit you for XYZ because they hit me for XYZ. So it's just it will get passed down to like the local EMCs, Cobb EMC, Greystone, things of that nature.
So this situation actually affects the state of Georgia.
Yeah.
In all retrospect.
Yeah.
Damn. So what needs to be done? What's the solution? What can we do to alter, hinder, or prolong or stop this process?
Contact your commissioner for whatever your district is, and that's on the back. So about that information. So on that side, that's the contact info for everyone. The vote will be going down on the 17th at the Public Service Commissioner thing. That's right there on Washington.
So if you don't know, all right. So it's 5 districts. District 1, we got Jason Shaw.
Mm-hmm.
District 2, we got Tim Eccles.
Mm-hmm.
District 3, we got Chuck Eaton.
Mm-hmm.
District 4, we got Bubba McDonald. You know you don't want to live in District 4. District 5 is Trisha Predamore. That's weird. Like,
So let me ask you this question. We spoke earlier before we actually jumped on air.
Right.
And I brought to your attention how back in Philadelphia where I'm from, we have an electric company. Ours is called PECO, Philadelphia Electric Company.
Right.
And a few people that kind of fight for the same thing there, they did a test. And what they did was they all called and tried to sign up for electric service. And with them signing up for power service, depending on their zip code, determined how much they were going to be charged for electric power. So what we saw was those that were in lower income areas, which are predominantly black, where I'm from, and I think it's kind of the same here in Georgia.
Right.
Their rates were way higher than those that were in different areas, like the suburban areas and things like that surrounds Philadelphia. So is that something that you guys have seen here, or does it not affect African Americans in that way?
Well, let me explain how it affects everybody everywhere. So like, if you own a rental property, there's no incentive for you to look at how much your tenant is paying, what their total cost of ownership is for that property. People tend to own properties in the low to moderate income communities. That's where people tend to have their rentals at, because that's where you can afford to get your first rentals. So when people are not maintaining these homes, how Georgia Power's bill is structured, after you hit a certain point of energy consumption, which you're going to hit it quicker because the home is not being maintained from an energy perspective, then you're going to get charged more anyway.
well, coming up, I remember you said on the 15th, you have something come up on the 15th. What is that?
The 14th.
The 14th, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Saturday at the Scotch Crossing Library. That's 2489 Perry Boulevard.
Okay.
I have a talk. So I have an hour-long talk, just basically kind of diving into my services, what I do, how it relates to the whole Georgia Power rate case, highlighting a study that kind of breaks down the zip codes that are most adversely affected by this in the city of Atlanta, things of that nature, servicing people. Just a little background with me. I went to HBCU for undergrad, Norfolk State University, Virginia Tech for grad school. But I grew up poor, so when I found out when I was that it was a way that you could build homes, harnessing energy, solar panels, things of that nature, energy efficiency, I just wanted to get into that to really help the people. Because if you ever had to boil some water to take a bath before, then you understand, what the movement, just about the people and
right.
it's just one of those things where the money will come, but with the whole clean energy by 2035, which is the city of Atlanta's goal and things of that nature, we're gonna have to address the low to moderate income communities. I'm pushing for something called the Energy Rating Index to be a part of code compliance.
Okay.
Basically, what happens when that happens is people with my skill sets, because one of the things that I do is quantify energy. All of the energy needs to be quantified and benchmarked. So when you benchmark it, we're basically gonna see where we're at, what's wrong with everyone's houses, things of that nature. So then, in that scenario where if it's a lot of people that need windows, we can go to the manufacturer of the windows and try to get them for free or at a discounted rate for the bulk purchase, and it looks good from a PR perspective on both sides. So that's what I'm trying to push for. That's the reason. And I actually went on record at the Public Service Commission last Monday when they had the hearing. I went on public record, just basically speaking about creating opportunities for workforce development through implementing the ERI for code, and because then people can get trained up to get the certification that I have, which is a national certification. Although I have a master's degree and all that stuff like this.
Gotcha.
In order to get the HERS rater, resident HERS rater, home energy rating system, that you can take a class and get and do that, and then you can service your community and represent your community.
So let me ask you this, because a lot of our culture, our people, our neighborhoods, and the people we've grown up with, and the ones that are still growing up, don't know anything about solar power. Right. Do you recommend, as owning a home, solar panels a recommendation for every household to our culture? Like, because we don't know about it, we don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I know about this stuff because I'm low-key nerd life. That's just what I am.
And I'm a prepper, so I know all about solar panels.
I see a slick carpenter too.
Yeah, I gets it in. I gets it in.
So,
do you feel like that's something that should be spoke about more to our community about solar panels?
Well, just the whole. Well, first you got to make sure that your home is energy efficient. But yeah, it's just really the whole total cost of ownership, right? So let's say I give an example of that. Let's say you had the bins. Let's say you had the bins in the house or whatnot, and your house wasn't energy efficient. But then you switched it, made your home energy efficient, put the panels on your home, and got the Tesla. You gonna get a rebate. You gonna get a tax credit for the Tesla too. But then you don't have to pay for gas no more. You bring your car home, you charge it up, and then you start to look at that total cost of ownership over time.
Got you.
And then it starts to make more sense, and we just got to get back to that, and we got to get back to owning our stuff. I know a family up in Commerce. They have a house built out of shipping containers, and they own about 15 acres.
I know all about that.
And if you go in the house though and you look at the house, you can't tell that it's built of shipping containers. But if a storm or something comes,
they solid.
Yeah.
And you can get a shipping container for a minimum of $1,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then it's just about getting that land. So then let's say with the
that's the key thing. That was land purchase. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, it is. I don't care how much of a dope boy you are. I don't care how many Bentleys you got. I don't care how many strippers you got. I don't care how many diamond chains you got. If you don't put yourself in a position to economically win, bro, you ain't shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's me saying it. Like, you've got to put yourself in a position to economically win. Mm-hmm. And some of these battles that we're facing within our own culture are these problems that we don't discuss. Like, if you really think about it, when's the last time you sat down with your mom and dad and talked about economic, energy efficient solutions?
Never. Last night, my dad's Haitian.
It's different. But what I'm saying, in a general household of a black family, we're not talking about energy efficient solutions. We don't have these conversations and these things that we need to do. Let everybody know about for the 14th again, and how they can find you, and how they can also help with what we got going on, and just update everybody on that before we get out of here.
Well, basically on the 14th, like I said again, I have a talk starting at 11 a.m. at Scotch Crossing Library. That's 2489 Perry Boulevard, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318. I'd love to see everybody come out. Free donuts. You can find my website, www.jonessustainable.com. As far as the Fight the Hype campaign, the vote is on the 17th, but before the 17th, you can reach out to your commissioner. Can you hand me that?
Do it.
Your commissioner for Atlanta is actually Chuck Eaton. And his email is ceaton@pscstate.ga.us. And I'm gonna leave this piece of paper with y'all,
Facts.
so y'all can just kind of go over this. And then it has examples on it as far as the numbers of what your bill is now and what your bill would be after the change. Because it's good.
So who has the case against them? Like against the Georgia Power? It's the city of. It's not the city of Atlanta.
It's basically it's a rate case. So they're voting. It's something that happens every 3 years.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a case, like
Okay.
a suit or something like that.
Good information, good knowledge. Tell us again what's going on this weekend for the listeners so that they can come out and support.
Again, this weekend we have basically the talk dealing with the Fight the Hike campaign, and really educating you on home and energy use and things of that nature. It's going to be at the Scotch Crossing Library, 2489, I want to say. Hold on, make sure.
We'll definitely make sure we post it up as well so that our listeners and viewers can know where to come check you out.
Yep, 2489, sorry. 2489 Perry Boulevard, Atlanta. On the corner of Perry Boulevard and Hollywood Boulevard. It's a brand new library. It's new over there. And that's another thing. You got to know what's going on in the city. A lot of people don't know they're building a park called, if you look on Google Maps, it says Westside Reservation Park. That's the Quarry Park that's going to hold the water reserves for the city. A 30-day water supply for the city is going to be bigger than Piedmont Park. So if grandma and them got a house on Bankhead or something, do not let her sell it.
That's right.
Do not.
That's
let her
good
sell it.
information. Good information. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah.
I definitely support your movement. We'll definitely keep in touch. We'll make sure we post the information up for this weekend. You got to stop back, let us know some updates, what's going on.
Oh yeah, anytime you want to have me,
Appreciate you being
on
on.
the IG, go green grind.
Okay. Say it one more time.
Go green grind. That's my mantra. Go green grind.
Go green.
Hit 72.3.
All right.